Hey y'all, it's your girl Belinda up in the kitchen getting ready to chef it up for you guys today. How's everybody? Hopefully everybody had a great Father's Day. For me, Father's Day, like I said about Mother's Day, is every day. I mean, every day should be Father's Day and Mother's Day. And that's how I will always view life. To all the great ones out there. So, however, I did have some things going on. I had a family emergency, but everything's fine. Everything's really good, thank God. So I had to, stick with my family, my little circle. We had great fun over at the Aussies in Reading. We went skating. It was me and all 4 kids and my fiance. So we had a wonderful, wonderful time. However, my father, I am going to be surprising him with this dish today and taking him up his card or whatnot and spending a little time with him because unfortunately I wasn't able to link up with him for Father's Day. But like I said, to me, Father's Day is every day, just like Mother's Day is every day. I don't put a day on days when it comes to mother and fathers. We should always be thankful and grateful for them. So, I do talk to my dad almost every day. So, today is my day to chef it up for my father today. Okay. So, as I said before, I was going to be making the rib sandwiches. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my ingredients. Let me just bring it down a little bit. Okay. Right about there. Okay, so the ingredients today for my rib sandwiches is going to be, I wrote everything down because like I said, I do everything my way, but I like to make it as simple as possible for you guys. Okay, so the ribs that I'm using is country style pork ribs. Okay, that's the ribs that I use, which I'm going to be showing you in a bit. Okay, I'm chopping avocados, cucumbers, and tomatoes together for a fresh little salad on top of the ribs. And I'm also doing a yellow onion and portobello mushrooms. So these are the mushrooms that I use when I do the rib sandwiches. Okay, so and I slice these really pretty long slices, so that's what I use for that. Okay, and I have mozzarella cheese. Okay, and I also have my, if you look over here, I have my Italian rolls going on right here. I have all my beautiful, lovely rolls. And these are the ones I like to use. Okay. And I have my chives. I have my mayonnaise that I put on the bread. I also have my skillet here. And I have vine tomatoes. Okay. I have onion. I have that squeezed garlic that we used before, and I'm also using the Caribbean jerk sauce again for these ribs, y'all. So you're gonna love it. So you might want to start writing things down, and I'll go over the ingredients as well again in my second video. I'm gonna try to make these videos a little shorter. So, and I also add 1 packet of salsón as well to the meat. And then I'm also doing a beautiful cabbage. I'm chopping up this lovely, beautiful cabbage, y'all. And I'm going to be putting salt, pepper, chopping it up in dices. And it's going to go on top of that beautiful ribs. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. So I have some water boiling over here. Okay, if you look at the white one here, the white pot I have here. So we're going to be chopping this up, y'all. I already have water up in there and it's boiling to a slow boil. So all I'm doing for the cabbage, y'all, it's a simple ingredient you can add on top of burgers, any kind of meat you prefer in a sandwich. So what I do is I just add mayonnaise and I add salt, pepper, and that's it. Very simple. And it's super delicious. All right, so we have that going on. So let me take you back over here. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up a little bit so that way we can see, and I can always bring you down, but I'll be showing you everything as I do as always. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, but before I start chopping up and adding all the ingredients, I try to get as much of sun as I can possible in here. We're having sticky weather, y'all. It's like really humid. It's like 79% humid out. It's like 74. The real feel is like 74. So we're having some really sucky humidity weather. Okay. So I'm up in my kitchen, y'all. My kids are in the living room. They're relaxing. So at the end of the day, we're all mothers, right? Okay. So I did notice when my last video, the lighting was a little too much. So I'm just gonna keep it in between here. And this side was actually better for the lighting than that side. Okay, so like I said, we're doing the country style ribs. Those are the ribs that I use for these sandwiches, country style. And the reason why, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is because I slice them up really, really pretty. Okay, so I left some chunks here so that way I can show you what they look like, and I can slice them in front of you as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push this over, y'all, and we're going to get chefing up in the kitchen. So, and this is what they're going to look like once you chop them up. They're just going to be really thick, pretty pieces. Okay, and so I already added sofrito in here, 2 tablespoons of sofrito, and I'm letting that marinate for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and slice these up. The rest of these, I just want to quick show you for a second here. Okay. This is what they look like. And I just pretty much slice them, not real thin, but thin enough so they fit in sandwiches because it's a lot of meat, y'all. And this is like the fatty part. So this would be like more like the fat and the meaty. This is more like the straight meaty, and they come all mixed up like this. Country style ribs, I love them. They make great sandwiches, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do, because like I said, I already have the sofrito into the ones that I already sliced up. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep it moving, and we are gonna go ahead, let me shut my refrigerator. We are going to go ahead and just slice these up. And I do use my beautiful knife here. I don't use scissors for this because this is a little thicker. So you kind of need to make sure that you use a knife for this. Because these country style ribs, they're really thick. Yeah, so I hope everybody had a wonderful Father's Day out there. Like I said, I'm going to go see my dad today, and I consider Father's Day every day. And if my mommy was here, same thing with her. She's in a better place. And you just got to appreciate and be very grateful and thankful for your parents and for life, period. All right, so I'm almost done cutting these up. All right, that's pretty thin enough. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in the rest with the sofrito. Okay, and I'll bring you down so you can see everything, all the ingredients when I add them in. So yeah, I had a long weekend, y'all. Oh my goodness. And like I said, it is really humid out over here in the Pennsylvania area. So. Okay, so pretty much, like I said, you want to have them like about that thin. See? Just a little thin, some places. Just as long as it's not really thick, so that way you're able to eat that sandwich, right? Okay. So, I am going to go ahead, throw everything up in there so we can start adding our ingredients. And I will repeat them as I go dipping everything in. And I'm going to bring you way down here, so you're able to see when I put them in. Okay. And I know my curtain's a little bit in the way, so I do apologize for that. All right, let me just try to... I'm going to have to bring these up, y'all. That way you can see the bowl. Okay, that's better. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the pieces. Like I said, I chopped some up so I can show you how thick they were. But I did prep some of this up earlier, however. Okay, so you just want to go ahead and massage that sofrito up in there. Make sure all that flavor gets into that pork. So I'm gonna put it over here quick. All right. So what we're gonna go ahead and add, I'm still here. I just want you to focus on the bowl, okay? Okay. So we have everything in there as far as the sofrito and the pork ribs. Okay, country style pork ribs. Okay, so what we're gonna go ahead and do now, we're gonna add a whole yellow onion. Okay, so that goes in there. We are doing a 1/4 of dry ginger. So this is dry ginger, the one I've been using up in my kitchen. And far as the garlic, I've used this before. I'm just doing squeezes with this, and I'm also doing squeezes with the Caribbean jerk sauce as well. So I would say maybe about 2 teaspoons, depending on your family size again. All right, so here's that Caribbean, y'all. You need to taste this. This is so yummy. I love it. I use it in a lot of my dishes. I see Cheetah out there laying down. Okay, so again, about 2 tablespoons of that, big spoons. All right, so we're done with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we are going to be chopping up our beautiful portobello mushrooms, okay? And that's these right here, our portobello. Super yummy. I can't wait to take this dish to my dad. Super excited. And you know, these are like hundreds of recipes that people use this stuff in. So you can basically use mushroom in anything, to be honest. So we're gonna slice these up long slices, okay? So again, I'm gonna bring you down here. And we're gonna go ahead and slice these, and look how beautiful. I just love them. And I'm a mushroom girl. I love mushrooms. I use them a lot as well in my kitchen. So, and I just slice them up the long way, just like that. Nice big chunks too, not really thin, just really in between, kind of, sort of, just like that. So I know my lighting is bad, y'all. You can see better here. Yeah, there you go. So, and then you just throw them in long pieces, just like that. Beautiful. Okay. Then again, and I use 2 big large ones, and that's for that is actually for, this here is like a 6 family size, not a 4, a 6, because I'm doing extra for my daddy. So so I got a little bit of extra of that country style pork ribs. Okay, that looks beautiful. You want to get everything up in there, y'all. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be putting is the salsón. One packet of salsón is all that goes in here. Okay, so you already have that sofrito in there, the ginger, the mushrooms. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this. That's all you're adding. You're just adding the portobello mushrooms. You're doing the garlic squeeze, the Caribbean jerk, and the 2 tablespoons of sofrito that was added in the beginning. The salsón, and the 1/4 cup dried ginger. Okay, so I just wanted to run that down to you guys, so that way that's out the way. So let's get the cooking, right? Okay, so I have my skillet over here. Okay, and we're gonna keep letting this boil. That's for the cabbage. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and crank this up. Okay, and of course you want that on a high, because this meat is pretty thick, so you want to make sure you have it on a nice high in the beginning. And so once I get that in there, we're going to go ahead and chop the vine tomatoes, which is what I like to use for these burgers. I like the vine tomatoes because they're really juicy. And we're going to chop up some cucumber and some Mexican avocados, and we're going to just mix that all together, and you're going to see how I do that as well in the sandwich. Okay, so I already have wetted my skillet a little bit with canola oil, and so I'm also putting in a little cube of butter. Whichever butter you prefer is perfectly fine. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is a little cheaper brand. Just throw that in there, let that get nice and melted up. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this cheese, and you're going to use mozzarella cheese. I just got a simple, cheap mozzarella cheese. really good with these sandwiches. I wouldn't use any other kind of cheese. Mozzarella cheese would be the best for this dish. Okay, so I quickly want to show you while that's melting. Okay, let me turn you this way, get you up in there. I just want to show you the mixture of all the ingredients to the country rib style pork that I have. And before I throw it in here, I would love to show you what that looks like. And this is what it should look like. You see all them beautiful long slices of mushroom, portobello mushrooms. You see all that juicy pork ribs down there. And all the sazon, the sofrito, the ginger, and the squeezy garlic. So that is all in there, y'all. And this is what it looks like. And all the mushrooms are going to shrink a little bit. It's going to be super delicious, okay? So let's take you back over here where the butter is melting. I missed y'all, trust me. I had a lot going on. Yeah, so, but I'm back and I'm here to stay, y'all. I'm just a mom at the end of the day, you know. And you know, I have a family like everybody else out there, so you know, I try to do my best every single day with all my other stuff that I have going on as well. All right, so that's just gonna all go up in there just like that. I don't waste time with this meat. I like to beat it up quick. Okay, and that looks so beautiful. And like I said, these are just simple ingredients, y'all. This is something you can do at home. You know what you're cooking, you know what you're putting in it. And again, it's super healthy as long as you eat in moderation. And just make sure that you eat in moderation. That's the best advice I can give you. If you're full, then you stop right there. Because I love to eat, y'all. My family, we all love to eat. And that's just one of my favorite things. Okay, so yeah, wait. I'm going to actually put this over here because we are going to go ahead and chop up those lovely avocados as that's cooking. Actually, we're going to dice the cabbage first. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to do that first, and then we're going to go ahead and start dicing the avocados as well after that. Okay? So let's get to that cabbage, y'all, while that is cooking. Yeah, you definitely want to have this at a high medium after it's on high for, you know, for some time in the beginning. So I would say like 5 minutes on super high, and then after that, you definitely want to just have it on a medium high. And it looks so pretty. And I love these big mushrooms. They just go so well with this dish, with this sandwich. And I just can't wait to show you guys what it's going to look like always. Okay. So we're going to let that rock out. Okay. I'm already sweating, y'all. And I'm going to take you guys over here, okay? So let's take you down so you can see where my chopping board is at. And this is just a regular little baby cabbage. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and chop this up. And you don't need much of this. Again, you can make like the whole thing and just save it, but it will go bad quickly, especially if you don't use it right away because of the mayonnaise and everything. So I just do enough what I need for my dish for that day. So we're going to go ahead and do like, I'm going to do like a half maybe. And this is going to go right into that boiling water. And we're going to be chopping this up in dices. And I love cabbage. I love cabbage soup. I have some recipes of cabbage soup that I do. But I usually save that more for like the winter time. So that's what we do. Alright. So long slices, dices. Okay. And you want to make these really small. You want to make these dices as small as you can get. Okay, so I would say just like that. You can see. I'm going to add that in that bowl for now for a minute. So all that's going to go right into that boiling water. Okay. I would say for 6 sandwiches, you're gonna need at least, I would say at least half, because these sandwiches are pretty big. They're pretty meaty, they're pretty big, so you want to go ahead and make sure that you add at least a half a baby cabbage for this side dip, I want to call it, that I put in the sandwich. All right, so a little bit more. That looks so pretty. And I like the way cabbage smells too. I really do. It just smells so fresh. Like right from the garden. Like you just pulled it out the garden. Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much good. That's good right there. And again, sometimes you get those crazy little pieces that pop out, which are still good, which I'm going to save because, you know, Chef Belinda, I don't let anything go behind. So I'll be using that for something else. Okay. Let's just clean this off a little so we can have the avocados chopped up here. That'll be next. Vine tomatoes and my cucumber. Okay, which I love my cucumbers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this away. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring you up here again. Okay. Now this looks so good, y'all, and of course I'm gonna bring it up so you can take a look at how it's cooking real quick. All right, this is what it looks like. Let me bring you down. Okay, so you see how pretty that looks? Beautiful. The mushrooms are just, they're cooking slowly. You know, it's just gonna be a delicious sandwich to die for. Again, to die for. Okay, so take you back over here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add that cabbage into this boiling water. However, I did add a little salt earlier, but I'm going to add more before I throw the cabbage in. Okay, so I'm gonna put a lot more salt in there. And I drained this, so don't worry about as much as salt you put because it gets drained and clean. So it helps the boil come up and it helps cook faster as well. And I'm adding that grinded pepper as well. Just a couple of shakes. Okay. And that is it, y'all. That is all you do for this cabbage. Afterwards, I drain it. I add the mayonnaise. I mix it all up. And that is it for that cabbage, okay? And that goes right on the sandwich. Super yummy. All right, so let's add the cabbage in there. Okay, and we're going to let that rock out. I'm going to put a lid on it just for about 5 minutes, maybe 4, and then I'll take the lid off and just let it rock out. Depending on what kind of pot you're dealing with to do this boiling, because the one I have, I love very much. It's my white pot, but it tends to get like really hot quick because it doesn't have one of those holes on the top. So that's why you have to go buy what you have in the kitchen. Okay? All right, so we're gonna rinse this out because now we're gonna chop up the avocados and the tomato. And we're going to chop up those lovely, beautiful, beautiful, take you down here, beautiful cucumber. Okay, and we do add salt and pepper in that as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that over there. All right, so I am going to, let me take you back over here for a second before we do that. I'm going to mix this around a little bit because since we're going to be over here chopping, we want to make sure everything is cooking really good. Okay. And this here, like I said, this is enough for 6 sandwiches. Okay. Usually I cook a little lesser than this for my family, but like I said, I'm surprising my daddy today, and I can't wait to see his face. I miss him. Like I said, even though we talk a lot, I still like to see his smile and be around him as well. All right, so we're gonna just move that over. Okay. Okay, back over here. See my bowl? Nice. And see, I like the view down here. That's why I'm trying to keep it down here to focus on what I'm chopping up and everything else. Okay, but this is pretty much it, y'all. This is the icing of the rib sandwich. Okay, now what I do is I take the ends off. I can use those in my tea later. And however, y'all, I also forgot to get the Yogi tea again. That's how busy I was these past couple days. But I did get an inspirational quote today on this site that I like. So hopefully I can get those tea bags this week, okay? But I did definitely have something written that I want to share with you for the end. So, and it's really nice. It's something I just, you know, I like those sites too. I like using them. All right. So, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut right in the middle, just like that, right across. Voila. Okay, now this one here, I do not take the skin off. I leave the skin on because it gives it a great crunch to the sandwich, okay? So I just cut that in half. And I start slicing from the sides first. And it's funny because when I do the sandwich, I always get a certain kind of cucumber shape for this, so I can cut them this way. Yeah, some of them out there can be really funky, per se. Okay, and then I just go right in the bottom and get them all diced up nice. And so I add that in there. And that's pretty much what they should look like, just like this. You can see that, yep, just nice square dices. Okay, throw that in there. Just make sure that goes in there. Okay. All right. So for this mix, I use just half. So this is gonna go away. Voila, disappear. We're just doing one big half for 6 sandwiches. Okay. 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 All right. They smell so good. Again, whenever I cook cucumber, I'm taking a bite. I absolutely love cucumber. I always have, cucumber in my refrigerator. Always. Because I use that a lot in my tea, in my water bottles, all that great stuff. So here are my vine tomatoes. How pretty. So juicy. Nice and soft. We're going to go ahead and cut those. Pull the stems completely out. Of course. And I already rinsed all my stuff. I always do. So again, we're doing dices. And I can smell that pork ribs. Oh my God, so good. Okay. And see how juicy that juice just pops out at you? That's why I like using these tomatoes. And I add that juice right in there. Okay. Well, let me just put it on the side so I can get this one real quick. So for 6 people, 2 juicy vine tomatoes. And these sandwiches are pretty healthy, y'all. They're really, really healthy. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and grab my beautiful big spoon. That way it's easier to put in here with the juices. Super yummy. Love them. Okay. Next, avocados. And that is looking really good, y'all. Absolutely really good. I used 2 hands today. All right. So let's go ahead. And these avocados are a little overly ripe. That's what I could find, but not too much. Not bad. Sometimes you go into one grocery store and you don't want to keep going looking in another grocery store for just one thing. So I made it happen the best I could when I do go get avocados, because they get, you know, they get bad quick if you don't use them as well, depending how you get them. And I usually get them ripe right away. I'll do like one hard one and the rest ripe because I use them a lot. Okay, so let me go ahead and get a big spoon, y'all. It's really quiet in my house today. That's because my son is still sleeping. So if you hear him get up, he might have to walk through here to use the bathroom, because unfortunately my bathroom's in the back of my kitchen as well. All right, so look how pretty. Just gonna show you. I just love when like the food is so colorful and it's perfect. It's, you know, looks really good, ready to eat for that day. I love it. Okay, and again, I could have prepped this last night, but you know, I had a long weekend. Look how pretty. I had a long weekend with all four of my kids, and also, you know, I did a lot this week anyway. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and flip those. All right, and I'm gonna keep that for a little garnish. I'm gonna throw these out. Yes, I'm actually keeping one of these avocado things because I'm gonna clean this out really good just for the plating. So not so much for garnish, for like just the plating to make the plate look pretty. And I'm gonna add some of that good avocado, all this stuff right in here as well on the side and on top of the sandwich, which is gonna be really pretty. I like to do that. All right, so let's just peek over here quickly before I chop those avocados up. This is looking really, really good. As long as you keep it on a medium high and a nice, one of those hefty skillets, because this is one of those hefty ones, you should be good to go. So there we have it, and it is looking good. The mushrooms are still beautifully large. That's why I don't want them to shrink too much. They do shrink a little bit, but you don't want them to shrink too much. All right, and that just looks fabulous, y'all. Okay, it's been about, I would say, 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna take that lid off and let it rock out, like I said. Okay, so back here, back to there. So again, you're gonna do dices. So nice and dices. Go ahead and pick those up right away. Throw them in. Nice. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to grab stuff on this board to chip it over. And you know, I use the same board to do all this because I make sure it's clean. And I'm adding, all this is gonna rock out together, so it doesn't matter. It's all going in the same bowl. Because those vine tomatoes are so juicy, y'all. Okay, just washing my hands quickly. All right, y'all, so this is pretty much it, what it looks like. You're just gonna go ahead and add that salt. Okay, and then you're gonna add some of that grinded pepper. Okay, and that is it. And this is gonna go in the refrigerator, y'all, just until I have all the sandwiches prepped up and ready to go. And then we're gonna go ahead and add this as well onto the dish. And it's so good, so yummy, that I'm gonna take a bite. That's what real chefs do. And I'm a real chef. Oh my God, so good. So yummy. Just like a salad. Good to go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stick this in the refrigerator so it stays nice and beautiful. And then we're going to head over here and finish with this lovely, beautiful pork ribs. Okay, so I'm gonna take you over here. All right. So I would say I had my meat out. I like that one part. I like when I get pieces that are just fold in together and look so pretty. And I'm talking about my meat, y'all. I had this soaking in sofrito earlier. I took the meat out a day and a half ago, actually. And I had it sitting in the refrigerator. So it's really nice and soft. The meat is so ready to be cooked. And that's how you want to cook your meat. You don't want to just take it out the freezer and cook it like that. Always be prepared. Prep your food. Make sure everything is nice and ready to be cooked. So in this way, we only have maybe like 15, maybe 10 minutes. 15, I would say 10 minutes just to be on the safe side. And this is done, y'all. Absolutely done. And that's what I said. That's why it's so important to follow certain rules in the kitchen because it makes life easier when you cook. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and cut there. I'm going to cut so that way I can shoot this video out to you guys and I can do a part 2, let you know what I'm chefing up on Friday. So I will be back for that and for the thought of the day, and I love y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and when I do start my second part, I'm going to start out with that cabbage. See you in a bit.